All right. So we are live right here. I believe we have a connection on our audio. Let's double check our audio. Audio looks good. We are currently on the iPhone. We don't want to be on the iPhone. Let's take that off. But what's up? How's everybody doing? You know, we spent the night researching, trying to figure out how we were going to make this better. And I'm a perfectionist. I'm going to read and I'm going to read and I'm going to watch. I literally told Steve Kander, I said, you know what, Steve, I watched podcasts till probably 2 a.m. last night.
And I know he did.
Because it wasn't okay, right? We're better than that. So today is pretty nice because we set up, we just finished doing a Zoom class on wine and food and talking about pairings and things that are beautiful. That's the Vouvray, right?
The Vouvray.
That's the first one. So we decided while all of this is set up, the lights are set up, the cameras are set up, let's connect. Let's connect to you because you know what? Last night's podcast was all right. It was all right. You get a pass. You get a cosign because y'all were trying. It was your first time. It was the new studio, but we're better than that. We're better than that. So I thought it'd be really cool to just jump on here real quick. We're planning out the next episode. The next episode is going to be on mental health. I got a lot of really good content. I'm so excited to share that with you. I received this booklet from Not 9 to 5, which is an organization that I work with that focuses on mental health. They have some actual doctrines, right? Focusing on the restaurant people. So we're going to get into their book next week.
Okay.
And I'm reading it. Man. Right. The management approaches, the thought process, the awareness, it's powerful. We've never seen anything like that in our time frame within this industry. So I'm excited to actually share that with the world. But that's going to be next week. But tonight, let's talk wine.
Let's talk wine.
Right? We just did this for an hour.
Wine is good food.
It's good food. We tasted some wine. We talked with amazing people. But at the end of the day, I think it's important because what we do is special. We put a lot of work into tasting wine. We put a lot of work into educating people on wine, the pairings, the flavors, how things come together, and everything's set up, so why not? Why not?
Let's play. It's our playground.
Yes. So what's this first wine? I'm just going to hold it up so everybody can kind of see. We got the first bottle. This is the Vouvray.
The Vouvray.
Vouvray. I think that's just a cool name.
Vouvray is a cool name. It's cool to say.
So what is a Vouvray?
Vouvray is one of the great wines of the world. Vouvray is actually a region in central France in the central Loire Valley. And Vouvray is the region, but the grape is Chenin Blanc. Mm-hmm. And by nature, Chenin Blancs are high in acidity. So since they're high in acidity, a lot of the winemakers will leave some of that residual sugar in there to balance that acidity. A lot like Rieslings. So this wine is so beautifully balanced. I wish you were there, could taste it with me. But when I smell this wine, it's this beautiful red delicious apple that's been cut in half, and it's like this fresh red delicious apple smell.
Let's just put the Vouvray right there for the people.
I like it.
That's what we're tasting right now.
Domaine Pichot Vouvray. And this is an off-dry version. There's sweeter versions and there's dry versions, and the dry versions have more acidity, but the sweetness will balance that acidity, and that's kind of what you want. And when we taste this wine, it's this fresh cut red delicious apple on the front of the palate that turns into kind of this beautiful apple cider, like you're drinking apple cider. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, it finishes this beautiful tart acidity. It makes you salivate. It's awesome.
It's such a good wine. Yeah. I mean, the red apple that I'm getting in here, the sweetness, it's standing out. So amazing. This is a good wine. This is something you've turned me on to the last couple years that I've totally been into. I've really been digging, and I think it's a great wine to be able to share with people.
This is one of my funnest wines to pair because it has so much complexity to it that helps me with a lot of the dishes that you prepare. Mm-hmm. because it has that beautiful tart acidity, and that acidity is a great balance for creams and cheeses and fats, because those creams and cheeses, they're going to coat your mouth, they're going to get all over inside there, and then that beautiful acidity is going to kind of cut through there and balance. So when you drink the wine after that cream and cheese, it's not so acidic, because the cream and cheese is going to balance it, and the creaminess isn't so heavy because the acidity is balancing that.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now here's the cool part. So I'm learning how to use YouTube while we do this.
All right, good.
And one of the things that we just did is we just shared this with all of the Facebook people. So
Awesome.
They're going to get the chance to kind of jump on here as we're talking about wine, we're talking about food. You know, we've been pairing stuff, and I think it's extremely important to be able to share it with the people, because that's what it's about, right?
It's power of the people.
Power of the people. You need to understand that we are tasting wine tonight. We are enjoying wine tonight. We are at 4 by Brother Luck. We are live, and we are learning how to use YouTube, right? Look at the difference.
YouTube for dummies.
Look at the difference from last night. I don't know if you were with us last night. Shots out to you. Shots out to you. We much. But if you are with us tonight, I want you to see the growth. That's one day. One day of paying attention. Right? What did we do right? What did we do wrong?
Because this man don't like mistakes.
I don't like mistakes. Mistakes bother me.
But bottom line, mistakes, you need to have mistakes so you can grow from them and you can learn from them.
Yes.
But only make it once. And let's grow and learn.
I saw the potential, you know what, and we've been doing this for a year, right? I've been teaching classes online on Zoom for about a year now. Tina and I have been doing it from our house, and I knew that we could pull this off. So we're doing this tonight with one webcam, hold on, let me switch it, because, you know, I've learned one phone, right? One, and a couple lights and some mics, and it's extremely special to share this with you. We done figured out how to throw some banners on there. We done thrown the logo on there. We are up and coming. We are paying attention, and we are listening to you. We even got a live chat. So, you know, if you're tuning in, you can jump on the chat. But oh man, we are James. We got the first comment. So this is my fam.
All right.
James said he's about to bake a steak. Now here's the thing. Let's tell the story.
Let's talk about it.
So James and I went on this banter back and forth about him baking the steak. And his way of baking a steak, right? Not searing a steak, not caramelizing a steak, not serving this a beautiful, right, pan-seared roasted.
All right.
This
I'm getting the flavor and stuff already. Yeah.
No, he hits it with some Lowry seasoning salt, throws it on a sheet tray, and bakes it at, like, you know, broil. So you're not getting the caramelization.
You got to sear it first.
You need the caramelization.
You got to sear it first.
You need to sear it and put it in the oven and finish. It's a two-step process, my brother.
Absolutely.
Two-step process.
Absolutely.
So I think that's one of the coolest parts is we've been figuring out how to use this YouTube. Now we're starting to stream it. We're starting to get it out there. And tonight is a completely, I mean, if you go back and you watch last night's, it was cool. It was fun. But tonight is about professionalism. This is what we do. So tonight we're tasting this gorgeous Vouvray. Every time I taste this wine, it blows my mind on the depth and the versatility. You know, the acid that we tasted on this wine was insane. I was really blown away by the capabilities it has when we pair it with a dish. So when you taste a wine, when you smell a wine, right? You're a professional sommelier. This is this is what you do. When you taste a wine, what do you think, smell, and start with? Like, you're spinning it around and getting the whole thing going. Like, what's happening here?
Well, the reason I'm spinning it is because I want to get the oxygen inside there, and I want to release the aromatics, because the aromatics are super important because taste is 75% smell. So what we want to do is, if we can release these aromatics and then put our nose in the wine, then we're going to be able to tell what possibly we might taste in the wine. Because when we're smelling the wine, we're smelling the aromatics so that we can kind of get an idea of what this wine is going to taste like for us.
No, it's got some great things happening. I think when you're smelling a wine, the most important part, get your nose in there. Just dive in.
With the mouth slightly open.
Yes, you need the
mouth
flow of air.
Open. But get your nose in there.
The smell as it kind of works through your nasal cavity and it gets onto your lungs and the back of your mouth, it opens up a lot of things, a lot of triggers. What are you smelling?
Well, that's a great point, because when you're smelling wine, those of you at home, but what Brother and I are doing is we're smelling the wine and we're trying to pull all the flavors out of the wine, because what we want to do is we want to showcase this wine. We want to smell this wine, we want to pull those flavors out of there, and then we want to find the subtleties in this wine, and then we want to match food with it. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing. We're going to try to break this down. And a lot of you are smelling wine and you don't really know what you're smelling or what to smell. So we're going to kind of help guide you through that. And the fruit, they can be animal smells, they can be food smells, they can be childhood memories.
Oh, wow. He just said childhood memories, and I think that's something that's extremely special. What are you triggering when you smell something or you taste something? That's a constant for us, because I'm trying to invoke that, right? I'm trying to create a dish that smells like the cereal box after you poured out the crumbs, right? I want that smell of Captain Crunch to be in the dish, because I want you to think about that. So I'm always thinking about that when I work with food. That's a constant for me.
A couple of my favorite memories while tasting different wines of the world is I'll smell this kind of a sweet, waxy smell in a wine, and it reminds the 64 that you had that had that little sharpener in the back. Remember that? And you should sharpen your crayon because it got all rounded. And that smell of that sweet wax, I smell that in wine sometimes.
No, I'm laughing because we're different generations. I come from an era.
You didn't
have
the sharp.
We had color pencil sauce.
You didn't have the sharpener in the back of your Crayola box.
I
know some of you out there has had that, so I get it. And that smell.
I smell like green apple and grapes.
I have another one. As we were smelling this, I was smelling this Barolo with a friend of mine, and I can't take credit for this one. I got to give it to him. But he was smelling this wine. He kept smelling. He goes, he couldn't figure out what the smell was. He kept smelling it. And it dawned on him. You know what this smells like to me? It was a beautiful old Barolo. But he said, when you were young and your dad bought that above ground pool for you, and he opened that box and he started unrolling that, and that plastic smell that came off of that pool when you're unrolling it, and I put that wine back to my nose, I go, that's exactly what that is. So wine smells, I can tell you when I'm smelling the wine, and I can guide you there, and you could probably get some of those flavors from me, and then a light bulb goes on for you and go, oh yeah, that's exactly what that is. I smell that. But there's other things in there, so don't feel bad. It can trigger something in you. This is what it smells like to me. And I'm going to go, I get that in the wine too.
Yes.
And then we try to figure out where that came from, or better yet, how we're going to pair that.
That's an important piece, and this is what we do. Sorry, the phone's going crazy, right? And we actually get to experience it and then translate it into the food. So, with the wine, we talked about this earlier, but this is from 2019. I can't do anything to this Vouvray because it's done, but I can do something to the dish. And that's where chefs have to actually lose the ego, right? It comes first. There's way too much work that's been done, from planting the seed to sprout, to vine, to fruit, to harvest, to bottling, to aging,
fermentation process.
There's so much.
Yeah. We can change the food, but we can't change the wine.
We cannot change the wine.
And we want to showcase. We want to showcase that winemaker.
You got to let the wine speak.
That winemaker spent a lot of time on that bottle of wine.
And don't forget, you can actually get in on this chat. We are sitting here live. We have figured out how to take the chat restriction off. One of the things I didn't realize last night, we had yes, it's made for kids as one of our parameters. So when we remove that part, it opened up the chat, because you never know what someone's going to say.
Oh,
I didn't think about it. Yeah, I'm thinking about, of course kids. So we were able to figure it out. So, we're getting some comments, which is always nice, but we're going to be doing this a lot more. I think we figured it out. The studio is coming together. When we go live on Wednesday next week, there's going to be a whole new studio from where it was last week because the floor is coming in, right? They're installing the floor, which is exciting. The electrician's showing up. So hopefully we'll have some lights. Let there be lights. That's what we're hoping for. And on top of that, I love when the fans walk by. We're live in the restaurant right now.
Right.
And we keep getting fans that walk by and showing us love. So we love. Hopefully there will be light. But on top of that, the framing is going to be done. So he's starting tomorrow. He's going to start framing out, putting the doors in, getting all that stuff going. So there's going to be a lot more done next week when we go live on Wednesday. So stay tuned.
But there's been a lot done already, though.
There has been
I gotta
a lot
say,
done.
The first time I walked in there, it was pretty amazing. That floor was bowed. It looked like a U.
No, it looked like I had one person say it looks like the ocean.
Oh, yeah,
And the second person said it looks like a waterbed.
Oh.
It did look like a waterbed. I don't know if you grew up on a waterbed.
Was somebody sleeping in the middle because he was sunken in the middle?
The building is over 100 years old. So there was actual beams that had bowed. So those had to come out. They were replaced. They were supported, and now we have a very
Way cool.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that after a week.
A lot of work. I like to get stuff done. I hope you see the difference in quality tonight. We are going to continue to drink some beautiful wines. We're going to continue to talk, and we have a charcuterie board to finish. But we wanted to come to you live to show you how much happens in 24 hours if you just do the work. Don't be yourself and start getting on YouTube and Googling and watching and figuring out how you can fix it. So shouts out to y'all. No Luck's given. Stay tuned with us. Thanks for joining us live from 4 by Brother Luck. You are live in our restaurant right now. We are sitting in the wine room.
The wine room.
This is where we taste wine, right? Yeah. There's maps. I see a map of Spain, a map of France, a map of California. This is where we taste wine.
This is my domain right here.
This is Sauce's domain.
The sauce domain.
It's the sauce domain. You know what? I can't wait. We have a really cool light fixture getting installed. Yeah. And that's going to be the next piece, a beautiful piece of light going over this table. But, we're at 4. And, man, we're just coming at you live on YouTube. We're learning how to do this. You are along for the journey. You go from the studio to Lucky Dumpling to 4 by Brother Luck to our house. We are taking you along. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit below, follow me on Instagram @ChefBrotherLuck, @SauceCander. Make sure to check us out. Appreciate y'all.